Hey, how's it going? I am the Sanguiem, and welcome back to Create Above and Beyond. So last episode we worked on the farm area, when we got this here machine up and running to come over and harvest all these crops, and we even got the crops here in the first place. Heck, at the beginning of last episode, this was all just a flat plain. So I'd say we did quite a lot last episode, but one thing we didn't do is make any contraptions, like in the buildings or anything. So here's what I'm thinking we do today. I think just for today, we work on this tower right here, and work on some sort of like processing system for the bread and the rice, while also leaving room for, you know, the other stuff, like the beef stuff and this silo here, because we need room to process that stuff as well. Alright. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we do something similar to what we have done over at the Infernal Mechanisms. And what we do is we have a belt that comes across with smart chutes underneath that grab items. Because here's the thing. If we come over here and take a look at this, look at that. Look. From that thing, we have a card here. We get bunny beans sometimes. We get wheat seeds. We get the rice panicles. Like, we get all this stuff. I mean, it needs to be separated out before it reaches the crushing wheels to process the wheat and the rice. And then from there, it needs to be sorted again. Because here's the funny thing. When you crush wheat, you can get seeds again. So we need to sort that out again. Alright. I want to talk about something else too real quick. Let's see. Open this. Okay, so take a look at this. I have these chunks here force loaded because, well, these chunks will always need to be loaded. Well, take a look here. You only get 25 chunks that you can force load. Like, I don't know, it feels like this could be, like, I don't think this is efficient. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, in addition to what we're doing already this episode, we need to make more of these chunk loaders here. Now, these things supposedly can be edited, but they are kind of set at 3x3 chunks. So this thing can load a grand total of 9 chunks. So right now, this thing is outlining the 3x3 area. And this laser is pointing to the middle of this chunk. So if I stand right here and look at the map, you can see I'm basically right in the middle of this chunk, and that chunk loader is loading these chunks around me, like always. Now, we need a bunch of these, so that way we can load most of this area. So what I need to do is I need to bury these chunk loaders underground and have them always loading the stuff, but here's another thing. If I pick this up, the recipe for this is, you know, it's not too bad. It's gold and an ender pearl, but it also uses an enchanting table, which also isn't too bad, but then you get these diamonds. And of course, diamonds are something you can't just farm. You gotta mine for those. Would it be possible to trade for them? It is possible to buy them, but oof, that's 2 gold coins. We got 88 diamonds to spare. That should be enough to make a handful of chunk loaders. How many do we need exactly? Let's kind of give it a look. Okay, so it looks like I can get away with only making 11 of these, so I need 10 more, which means I need 20 diamonds. Oof. And I need 40 obsidian, which I don't have enough, so I'm gonna go out and get some obsidian. I gotta check on the engine. I'm so scared of it. Alright. Everything's fine by the looks of things. Good God. I'm so terrified because in my creative world, when I am currently trying to build the Nether factory and try to plan it out. I've noticed that spending long amounts of time away from like this brass building will do terrible things to it. For example, you would have machines moving way faster than they're supposed to, and the stress level will be super high despite the fact that no settings have changed whatsoever. Things start to break, things start to malfunction. You can try and remove shafts and put them back, remove gears, put them back, and it's still not fixing itself. Like, it's apparently very easy for a system this big that spans across this many chunks to break. And I assume it's because of, like, chunks unloading and loading in not at the same time. And because of that, it has come to my attention that I should probably make as many chunk loaders as I can. Because if the chunks are never unloaded, then hopefully I can be as far away from this place as I want to be, and this place will never break because it's always loaded in. So when I come back, then hopefully there won't be any issues. Because this place seems fine as long as I'm around it. Alright, got 11 chunk loaders. Now, I need to go to where I've marked a force-loaded chunk on the map. Alright, there we go. All of them are in place now. So I still need one, like maybe 4 more chunk loaders, but this should be fine for now. So now all of this will be always loaded, like even if I'm thousands of blocks away. So now we won't ever have any strange problems like how that one time we showed up and I believe the kelp was just about run out because I went to the nether for a while. Alright, so that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Let's get back to the real work here. Okay, so here's what I have so far. We have a tube here that just sucks all the items out. Under normal circumstances, I would have a buffer barrel. Like, this doesn't have to be here. We could put it here, or even over here. And put this here. Okay, like this. We can put a barrel here, extract it from the storage interface into the barrel, so that there's a buffer. Because I like buffers. Buffers are nice. Alright, let's make some smart chutes. And looks like we're almost filled up on electron tubes again. I'll have to throw some more kinetic mechanisms in here. How much brass do we have? Plenty! We have plenty of brass lying around. It just decided I gotta get this done quicker. We have some visitors. Hello, gentlemen. I love that these guys aren't a problem. Hopefully they'll despawn and we don't have to worry about them. I forgot the barrel. Jeez. And I got this lovely staircase over here. Lead to this. Alright, so cards and beans. I don't know what to do with them. So what do you say we do this? We have seeds in the left one, and we have the buddy cards on the middle one, and the buddy beans on the far right one. And the seeds can converge with the seeds that come out of that chute up there. And together they can go into a composter. It can be pressed into bone blocks and stored away. And we'll have, like, bone meal. And if somehow we end up with a bulk of bone blocks that we cannot contain, we can just have, like, a trash can or something as an overflow. No need to profit off that one. We already have profit coming from over there. Okay, so it comes out here, goes this direction. We can have all the packing of the rice and everything over here, and we can send the bread making into that direction. Bread making. How do we make bread again? Let's look at the steps. We'll have the wheat flour. We can mix it with water to immediately get dough. And we have to bulk smoke it. Or use a redstone furnace, which would be ideal, but we can't make that. We can also make slime out of this. Yeah, we can make slime out of this using lime dye, which can be crafted with white dye from bone meal and cactus green. Well, green dye, I guess it's called now. But we're not going to do that, because every time I try to do that, something goes wrong. So I'm not going to worry about slime balls. What do you say we have it like this? We can separate out the rice and the straw here, and the seeds, the wheat seeds. I'm thinking the wheat seeds can be here. Actually, it would be better, hold on, instead of using a smart chute, we could put this here like that, and put this here. Okay, that'll work, and this will just be the seed chute. You guys better not gunk up any of my systems. I would be real mad. Here, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Thank you! Okay, to save up on water, we're also going to use an aqueous accumulator, which is not as good as the infinite chalice of water. Like, it's not nearly as good, I can attest to that, alright? I've done all the tests, I swear. But, for the sake of compression, we'll just have to use the inferior aqueous accumulator to get water for the flour. Unlike the other andesite buildings, this one's going to have the brass belts because of the complexity. It's going to be more advanced, so might as well go with the brass theme. So, we're going to have this pull water into here. Flour goes in there. And then when it comes out, so we can have this here, and a campfire here, and we can put a basin there. Once that's been fired, it'll turn into bread, and then we can just immediately put it into a trade machine. Okay. I like what I'm looking at so far. It's kinda ugly, how it just is out here like that, but I'm sure we can figure something out after we hook up power to it. Alright, fine. I've convinced me. I'm gonna pull from the power over here. So here's a gearbox here. Why don't we just pull from this? Okay. I brought the power over here. Now what? We could have a line here, or if we really wanted to, we could hide it in the wall. We do have space back here. I don't know. This is the part I'm kind of struggling with. I mean, I guess there's really not much we can do other than just begin. It's such a long line, too. But now we have what is essentially a power outlet. Okay. Now what? Let's maybe try using some of these. Oh, but that's too bad. It's going the wrong direction. Oh. Does this work? It does work. Hey, look at that. We got water now. Got that pump going. There's a cave, by the way, over here. I think I forgot to mention that there's actually a cave in here somewhere. I'm gonna have to light it up because, monsters. Oh, come on now. Okay, that looks better, I think. Having the gears there. Okay, I think all of this is powered now. So, basically, this thing can make bread if wheat is put in there. But, we still need to, you know, put in the filters and all that. And I just remembered that the fan is not running to suck items up. So we'll have to do that. I just remembered something. These things are gonna, like, this thing's gonna bring back a lot of crops by the bulk. And seeds are gonna be one of those things that's gonna be brought in by the bulk. So we might need more than a hopper to act as a buffer. So I might need to move this whole setup down a block and put a barrel up there above a hopper. Because if that seed thing gets backed up, these seeds are going right into there. And we don't want that. That's going to back up the whole system. Moving upward. Hey! Oh, but the smart chute grabbed it first. Because it's not filtered. And for some reason, that has a gear filter, which is odd. Now, the buddy cards filter is going to need a special filter because, like, who knows what kind of buddy cards are going to be brought through. So we're going to do this. And we're going to do a deny list. So we're going to deny, like, the seeds, the wheat, the rice, panicle, and the buddy beans. Now, supposedly, this is all that I should be able to get from the crops. So we'll go ahead and set that filter. Go ahead and slap that there. And then we'll put this here. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we have, like, 2 or 3 chests, double chests, stacked on top of each other. We can have, like, a hopper back here to help with the collection. The buddy cards, which will come out of that one, will go into the hopper and fill that up, while the buddy beans simply go into this here spruce drawer. I think that'll do. Then there's, of course, the straw and the rice. What to do about that? The rice is just going to get packed. So let's just put that here. The straw is going to be stored. So maybe we can have like a drawer down here or something. Okay, there we go. Now we have seeds that can pile up in this barrel. That'll help a lot, I think. So what do you say we test it out, huh? Let's test out the machine so far and see if we can make bread out of it. I forgot to put in a campfire. Which means we're probably going to get balls of dough coming out of here. Interesting. It's just... Very interesting. Okay, so here's what I'm seeing here. We have a problem where too much is on the line. If it gets backed up, that's also a problem, which means we need another barrel situation. We could just simply put a barrel here, but then this is going to be in the way. Which means the barrel would have to go here. But then it can't be collected by this here. What a conundrum. Okay, so let's see if this works. Yes, look at it. It is working. And look, it can only smelt one at a time. At least we know that the bread machine works. Alright, so we have something here to work with now. We have a machine. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of off-camera work on it and see how I can improve this, and maybe I can add on the packaging and all that. I mean, it's not like you guys need to see the packaging get installed. I mean, you've already seen it with the bone blocks over there, so it's nothing new. In other words, maybe I'll be back if something interesting happens or when I've completed the contraption. So, yeah, be right back. Okay, so here's some of the work I've been up to. I was able to add more to this. I now have some trade machines and nullifiers and everything. I've put in some like sample crops and got them all organized. I have a spot here for the straw, spot here for bone blocks. You got a trade machine here for the bags of rice. And then you have a nullifier here for excess bone, which I don't see us having to use anytime soon, but it's there. So, it seems like it works. However, the only way I could get this to accept the maximum output of dough was to have it drop directly onto the smart chute as an item. I don't like doing that, but it seems like the smoker can catch up with it. to where there are moments where there are no items sitting on here, even while this is backed up. The only bottleneck so far is the water, believe it or not. Which just goes to show you just how insufficient this aqueous accumulator really is. It takes like a solid 2 to 3 seconds for this thing to fill up with water, and then it takes like another second for this to mix it all together, so there will always be like a 3-second delay between dough creation. Now we could speed that up a little bit by maybe making a second cauldron, a second basin with a second mixer, and having it do 2 at the same time, and that'll essentially double the output. Because I imagine the water can be split and fill up 2 different basins, because I imagine it's only that as slow as it is because they can only pump so much fluid into this basin, like, at once. I mean, look, this is even running at 512 stress units, but it's still not fast enough. But I don't know. I feel like it would be too much of a hassle. It does quick enough, and it's not like this thing's gonna have tons upon tons of wheat per every harvest. Like, it's only gonna have the maximum input upon the first harvest, where it clears the entire field. But then after that, I mean, it's never gonna have another full harvest again unless I shut it off for a long period of time. So I think we'll just have to test and see if it'll work. So now all that's left is really to finish up the setup with the bread. And then we'll have it all pretty much done. Like, all that really needs to be done now is like some kind of coin system. We have a nullifier here to destroy excess straw that we don't need. And now we have the trade machine here. And it's on a belt like this, specifically so that way we can intercept the bread and send it off somewhere else from the bottom. Okay. I think this works. We just got to find a way to extract coin and, you know, do what we will with it. I think, for now, it would be best to put it all in a drawer. Either a drawer, or put it in through another trade machine and have it turned into gold. So that way we can compress it. But it would be better, probably, to make it just straight up silver, since this will also be where we get silver. So here's another question. Should we put chutes on the bottoms of these so that they pull out the coin and then have belts running under the ground and do something with that involving the silver? Or should we just use exclusively brass item pipes? That's what I want to know. By the way, guys, something I learned about these pipes are, whoops, not that, here we go. Okay. So, I can right-click a side of the pipe, and by doing so, I could force a connection. There we go. So now it's not connecting to any of these. So now I can have these pipes in much tighter spaces without it interfering with other modules. And I like that. This will allow me to compact this a little bit more so that it's not sticking out all over the place. Because we gotta remember, we're gonna have a whole processing system over here in this corner for the silo and maybe even the bee farm over there. So, like, we need all the space we can get. Okay, so now the coin that goes into this furnace, well, not furnace, dynamo, and this dynamo will both come from here when requested. I'm trying to wonder, should I maybe have the coin here? Oh, this is the concrete. Okay, I guess I got the wrong drawer. Hook up some sort of pipe system here that extracts coin, and then we'll have a chute here that pushes coin up from a bit below using a fan. Alright, it seems to be working quite well. And it's outputting coin. Look at that. One coin was basically just turned into several more. But now we gotta get this pipe connected over there while also getting a fan under there. So let me go ahead and do that. That's a lot of you. I'll use the side entrance. Man, oh man. I'm glad that they don't bother me anymore, but now they're just being annoying. Okay. So this thing has a farming pass and bread. And you'll see that it is producing coins steadily. Excellent. Okay. This is now in place. We now need modules for the pipes to work. Like the same kind of modules we've been using. Low retrieval. Stack limiter. Limit amount to 64. Actually, 16. We don't really need that much coin. And it'll take a very long time for it to eat through them, so 16 should be more than enough. It is now beginning to lose the coin. Okay. I did just now realize that this will have to be a whole stack before, you know, it backs up. So what do you say now? Let's go over here and start throwing stuff in, because now it should be a closed system where everything has somewhere to go. So let's just huck all of this wheat in first. And let's kind of give us a better view. It's going to be a tad backed up at first. This all goes into a hopper, but not before going into a barrel, so it has a pretty big buffer. And it then goes into a barrel here, which also acts as a buffer. All of the dough lands here, gets cooked, turned into bread, and put into the machine. Look at it go. And for some reason, I've noticed it does 2 at a time. By the time all the dough there falls down, it makes 2 bread. So that's interesting. Now this is technically going to be empty for a while, because all of the coin is immediately being extracted, but sooner or later it should catch up. Alright, what do you say we add some rice to the mix, huh? It'll take a hot second for it to grind up all of this here wheat. Because take a look at that water. It fills, mixes, fills, mixes. And while that is pretty consistent, it's like I just don't think it's fast enough. Because then all of this wheat flour just builds up back here. Because this needs to be faster than that thing collecting wheat. But it's okay though, because the first round, like, it should be able to handle that and then slowly chip away at it while being given more crops to process. But ultimately, this thing should be able to, you know, do better, ideally. Oh, that's all the rice being pressed. And unfortunately, it's not fast enough. Which means we need a barrel down there to act as a buffer. I'm willing to bet we can simply remove that, place that, Okay, but now the rice can fall into the barrel and then fall on the belt. That should help with all that stuff. I have no choice but to give this some time to process all this wheat flour into bread before I actually turn on the machine, because I want this to have as much space as possible to prepare. In fact, I'm tempted to upgrade the barrel into a bigger barrel, like maybe an arcane barrel or something. Just so that way it has enough storage. We have tons of straw now. We'll never have to farm for it again. And we have bone blocks coming in. So if I ever want to do anything with bone blocks, hey, we have a passive supply here. Excess straw and bone blocks will be destroyed. And we have coin, eventually, just being made. So look at that. I'd say this is pretty successful. And honestly, we don't really have to fill the silo with anything or make bees or anything, because ultimately this should be more than enough to create some supply of money. But it won't be enough. No. Well, I do want to add more in here. So we're going to do that in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing. And remember, the Wasteland is watching. See ya.